Hey everyone, Danielle from Neat and Tangled here with a special video for you celebrating our own design team member Emily Leiphart's 100 videos and 2,500 subscribers on her YouTube page. We have a wonderful video blog hop for you today, so be sure to hop along because there are some incredible sponsors providing lots of really fun prizes, and here they all are. In order to be able to win some of these prizes, be sure to subscribe and comment to all of the different channels. Now, I'm kind of going to just jump right into this video. I am folding up a box that I die cut using our new box die. If you haven't seen it yet, especially if you're new to Neat and Tangled, check our YouTube page because I just did a video using this die to die cut this box last week, and it's really cool. Anyway, so you die cut it and I fold up the box. Now, for this card, I wanted the inside of my box to be white instead of the aqua color inside and out. So I die cut a separate white box, and what I did was cut it in half, and then I'm cutting off the little flaps. And by doing this, I'm going to be able to take this white piece of die cut cardstock and adhere it into the inside of my aqua colored folded up box, and that's going to give the appearance that the inside of the box is white. And I had trouble figuring out which way to do it, but I did figure it out. So there we go. So now you can see how the inside of my box is white and the outside and the flaps are still the aqua color. I think it gives just a little bit of contrast and makes a pop. Now here's my mistake. This was the first time I did this, so I used my regular adhesive. That's my scrapbook adhesives that is super strong and I use for everything. And it holds my box together through the duration of making this video, but I noticed later on that it started to kind of pop open. So you'll see later on I'm actually going to switch the adhesives that I used for this box. Next, I'm going to take my folded 4x4 pink card base and also a small piece of white cardstock. This is about 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. That's a little bit smaller than my card base. I'm going to use our Falling Heart stamp set and Pale Tomato Hero Arts ink. That's my absolute favorite color. And I'm going to create a background. This stamp is great for creating repeating patterns. I'll ink it up, stamp it once, and then I'm going to ink it up and stamp it again, and I'm going to get a perfect repeating pattern. This stamp set makes it so easy to fill up a whole background like this. Now this Pale Tomato ink is kind of bold. It will tone down a little bit as it dries, but I wanted it to be a little more subtle for my card. I'm going for kind of a soft look. So I'm actually going to take a piece of vellum and stitch it over the top of the Falling Hearts pattern I just created. And then I'm going to adhere the Falling Hearts and vellum panel to my card base. So there we go, and I'm just going to press it down all over. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my box and kind of figure out where exactly I would like it to be placed on this card front. And then I'm going to take my scrapbook adhesive and just really thoroughly cover the whole back of that and then stick it down. Now this card's going to have a lot of dimension, so this is probably not a card that I would mail. I would either hand deliver this or stick it in with a package that I was mailing. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take our Creepy Cute Shadows and Sentiments stamp set, and I'm going to use the banner and the coordinating die as well as a sentiment from one of my favorites. This is Gifts for You. I'm going to use the Happy Birthday sentiment from that stamp set to kind of finish off the card. The first thing I'm going to do is use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink and ink up the banner and stamp it. And then I'm going to use the same ink, which is my favorite ink for favorite black ink for stamping. Ink up the sentiment, line it up, and stamp that as well. And from here I'm going to take my little die, line it up, and adhere it down with a piece of washi tape just to hold it in place. And I ran it over to my Big Shot and cut it out. And now I want this to have some dimension, so I'm going to use some foam adhesive on the back. I'm just going to load it up with these little squares. You could use, if you had a big roll, you could certainly cut it, but I find that the Scotch foam adhesive isn't quite as deep. It doesn't, it's not as thick as these, and I really wanted this one to pop up. So I used a bunch of the little squares, and I'm just going to peel off all the little backs which takes me forever and makes a huge mess on my craft desk and floor. And I usually find them stuck to my dog's nose. And then I'm going to stick it down and just kind of figure out where I want it to fall with the flaps of the box and everything. And then I will stick it down. Now, I decided that I didn't want the flops kind of flapping around like they were. So I'm going to take some of those foam squares and put them on the back, the underside of the box flaps, and adhere it down. This way, the card is still going to have a lot of dimension and have a lot of interest because of that, but the flaps won't be, you know, moving up and down. They'll stay in place. And then this originally was how I was going to end the card, but that was just way too plain. So I decided to pop it open, and you could see that popped open so easily because that adhesive really was not strong enough. But I took some regular old tissue paper next, just plain tissue paper that you would use to wrap, to put in a gift bag, and I tore off some pieces, and now I'm just kind of fooling around with them, arranging them on the inside of my box to see how I want them to kind of lay, and I'm just kind of fluffing them and folding them down, and you know, I didn't want it to be too crazy with the tissue paper. And I tried out different colors. I cut it out from the video, but I tried yellow and I tried pink, but I thought white was the best for this. So I just fooled around with it till I had it how I liked it. And this is where I'm switching adhesives. Now I'm going with score tape. And this is going to keep it stuck together forever. It's much better than a regular, you know, roll tape that you would use for card making. So I'm just tearing off some pieces of score tape to fit around the edges of the box. And this is really going to keep it in place. And I'll peel off the backs of that adhesive. And again, it will take me forever, and I'll make a huge mess with them. But if you don't have score tape, it's definitely worth investing. And this is actually the first time I've ever used score tape. I have a huge roll of it, and I've had it for about 3 years, but this is the first time I'm putting it to use. And I'm going to take my bone folder and just go around the edges and press down firmly so that I get a really good seal with the score tape around the edges of that box. And that's pretty perfect. Then I decided, well, that wasn't quite enough with the tissue paper. And so I thought, how about we add a little bit of sparkles with some gold sequins. I kind of feel like you can never really go wrong with sequins. They just add something nice to a card. So I just kind of fool around. I arrange a few and see where I think they would look nice. I kind of put some, like, tuck them inside the tissue paper. I'm going to take my quick stick, which is a great tool if you're working with anything small, sequins, maybe little beads, or any other kind of little embellishment. And I'm using some matte multi-medium, and I'm just going to stick down my sequins, adhere them down. And I like a matte adhesive, a matte drying adhesive for something like this, so that if I get too much on the sequin and it kind of overflows a little bit, you're not going to see it when it dries because it'll be matte. If you're having trouble getting your sequins unstuck from the end of your quick stick, it's nice because they have the other end pulls out, and it has like this little plastic tool that one's a chisel tip kind of and one's a pointy tip, and you can use that to kind of push down the sequin and then pull back the sticky part of the quick stick. Whoever invented that was very smart. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep sticking these down like so. And you know, you could certainly use any color sequin you want for this. I love gold sequins, so, and I had some on my desk. And I'll put the last one on there. And then I'm just going to kind of slide this one around a little bit to make sure it's exactly where I want it. And I think that I am going to call it quits on this card. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love the soft colors, and I think the sequins add a great touch. I just wanted to say congratulations to Emily on such a fantastic big achievement. I'm so happy for you. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to all the channels while you hop along, and comment to be entered to win prizes from all of the fantastic sponsors. See you soon.